Hey guys, what's up? My name is Anthony, and welcome to another edition of BNA Sports Talk. And today, what I want to talk about is the New York Giants top 5 moves of the offseason. If you want to see me do like a top 5 Dave Gettleman moves, definitely do let me know. I think it's just a little bit too early. I'm going to do it, I think, next year. If we do have a season this year and we see how these picks end up working out. But let's get right into it. The number 5 move, in my opinion, was bringing in a guy like Dion Lewis. We needed a pace-changing guy. Now, he's not going to be good in between the tackles, but out in space, I think he can really help out, Daniel Jones and us move the chains on the offense just to be a little bit less predictable. Be a guy that's just like, Daniel Jones made the bad read to give it to Dion Lewis, and then it turns into like a 7-10 yard gain. We end up getting a first down. He was really valuable for a team like the Patriots a couple years ago. Not so much with the Titans, and that kind of concerns me. Obviously, you have that injury history, but we shouldn't be using him that much. I like the guy Dion Lewis, Bill Belichick, Patriots guy. He understands. He's going to be disciplined. He understands his role with this team, and I think overall it's a good guy to bring in. Javon Leake eventually will probably get a try, hopefully, with this whole Corona thing, with things happening, with only bringing in 75 guys. But I think overall Dion Lewis was a good value buy, and he doesn't really cost that much too. So, yeah, I think that's very valuable for us. Next is bringing in wide receivers in the undrafted free agency instead of going into the draft, wasting a 5th, 6th round pick. What we did was, later in the draft, we got some guys that are going to be able to manufacture a speed rush instead of bringing a guy like Yandy Golden, Tyler Johnson, which I kind of would have liked, to be totally honest with you. Just wait till undrafted free agency, get those guys that are from Ohio State, that have learned with the best coaches, and just see what they got. They can't hurt. It really can't hurt. And Daniel Jones, we created some continuity with him, so he gets to work and gel with his wide receivers. I mentioned in almost every single video, there's a value to keeping the guys that you had last year. We were the 19th offense last year, and that was with a turnstile. So don't start bringing in new guys, especially since he's learning a new offensive scheme. I think Benjamin Victor and now Austin Mack could potentially work out for this team, but we'll see. They may be cut before they even reach training camp. Hopefully they are able to stay and show what their skills actually are, and hopefully this ends up working out for the Giants. Even if one of them ends up being on the roster, it would be worth it rather than drafting a guy and then feeling like you have to put him in the offense. Is he the next Darius Slayton? That type of thing. And yeah, so the good overall move by the Giants. Number 3 is James Bradbury. Now, I don't love it because he's not that much better than Janoris Jenkins, but he's going to be able to follow the number 1 wide receivers. He's going to be pesky to an Amari Cooper in this division. He's going to be pesky to whoever the Eagles throw out, whether it's Jalen Reagor or I don't really know who they're going to throw out there. And the Redskins with Terry McLaurin, who's an emerging wide receiver, he's going to be matched up one-on-one. I don't think he's an elite. I don't think he's a top 5 cornerback, but he's the best cornerback we've had for years. And I love this. I love this pick. And as far as the rest of our cornerbacks, you take a look at them. Even if James Bradbury goes in the slot, you still have a Corey Ballantyne in that, that could play an outside. So James Bradbury now is going to be comfortable. He's going to be, matched up against the Odells of the world. So I like this James Bradbury pick. It's very solid for the Giants. We got him on a relatively good deal, on a relatively short deal as well, instead of signing him to a Byron Jones contract. I guess it ended up working out with this whole Corona season. The cap may go down, so it's just a good overall contract, good value and everything like that. And I like what he's saying about the Giants, the Giants didn't really call me, and then they blew me away with a deal, so I had to join the Giants. I like Dave Gettleman, that sort of thing, so it kind of gives me confidence going into the future. Next, hiring Joe Judge. Joe Judge brought in a Jason Garrett. He brought in experienced coaches. You take a look at throughout the entire roster, whether it's a Bielema, a Jerome Henderson, a Burns, different things like that. Guys are going to be able to teach our offensive players the game. And I made a whole video about it, talking about the Giants and how all of our ex-coaches pretty much don't have jobs now. They don't. And there's a reason why, because they weren't good teachers. And that's why we brought in all these coaches and things. Now, what came to me was, what if Dave Gettleman retires next year and Joe Judge is still on the roster? I do not want him to be our general manager, because we've seen that happen before. The Patriot guy takes control of the entire roster. He brings in his guys. Now, I wouldn't hate it, but just don't. It's not going to give me a good feeling inside my stomach like he's going to be the next Bill O'Brien. I don't want that. I don't want him in control of the personnel. I want the GM in control of the personnel, and they kind of have a working relationship. Joe Judge being young gives me that, that safeness of being like, you know what, he's going to make he's not going to make all the decisions, but the decisions that he makes and the decisions that he says and brings up are going to be good points. And, the general manager obviously should listen because he's, a Bill Belichick disciple. And, there's a reason why people like Bill Belichick disciples. And, all of them don't work out. That's because they get too much control. Let Joe Judge comfortably just make his way, establish the culture, start winning. With Bill O'Brien, they won 4 out of the last 6 divisions, but the rest of the teams in that division, the 3 of them, they made it to the AFC Championship in the past 6 years. Bill O'Brien hasn't done that, so he hasn't been successful. Don't let it get to your head. But I think he's fine. I don't think he's like a Shermer or anything like that. And then number 1, addressing the offensive line and drafting Andrew Thomas. I'm gonna mention in every single video I do now. It's probably like a meme. Andrew Thomas. I don't care if he plays guard, tackle, center. I don't really care. This was the move. Isaiah Simmons was a luxury pick at the time. Isaiah Simmons would have been great for our team, but we got a Blake Martinez. That's fine. It doesn't really matter to me. We got some value guys towards the ends of the draft, but we would have been lost without Andrew Thomas. Even with if you take a look at Nate Solder, it gives us the flexibility to cut him after next year instead of paying him a bunch of money and then replacing Nate Solder with somebody else, whether it's another linebacker, whether it's another cornerback, whoever. It gives us a lot more flexibility. Andrew Thomas can do everything. He's a fast learner, fast processor. We've went through this entire thing. Andrew Thomas is definitely the best move this franchise has made in the past 5 years. We'll see what happens with Daniel Jones. I don't think Saquon Barkley was an amazing move because, again, that was a luxury pick when we were rebuilding. I didn't necessarily agree with that. I think Andrew Thomas, not just this year, it's the best move this franchise has made, potentially even since the last Super Bowl. I don't know what moves we made that year in the Super Bowl, but hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know what you guys think. What were some top Dave Gettleman moves that you liked this offseason? Do you agree, disagree with anything I have on this list? And I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye, guys.